So, I'm going to do a 3-part wheelie how-to. Reason I'm doing this is because I got a couple friends that want to learn how to do wheelies, because springtime is coming up and they want to impress all the ladies. Okay, so this is going to be my part 1 for beginners, alright? Now, for me, I would consider myself an intermediate, but I'm going to, get better as the time goes on, so I'll be able to do the advanced. I'm going to do beginner, intermediate, and advanced, okay? This is the beginner. Alright, first off, I'm going to go over the ground rules. There's 3 basic ways of getting that front end up, okay? First one is power wheelies. Unless you have, if you have anything less than 1,000, it's going to be tough. Unless you're throttle chopping it, which is very inconsistent. I don't like it. I mean, this bike will come up in first, but you're really high in the RPMs when it does it. You're already going 60 miles an hour. So I would suggest not to do that. Okay? Second way is to clutch it, second and third way is clutching. But there are 2 different ways to clutch it. The first way is the way that Downshift83 taught his wheelie vid, if you've seen that. Lots of people have. What he does in his vid is he rolls on the throttle in first and then pops the clutch while keeping his throttle hand at stationary position, and he just pops it. And then that brings the front end up for him. Okay? Now, I tried that on my R6, my first bike. I tried it over and over and over, and I could not get the fucking bike more than like 3 inches off the ground. It just wasn't working out for me. So I found another video by Nick Apex Broca, I think it is. Nick Broca. He's a stunter, and he basically said first gear, it's going to be the same as what Downshift83 said for his second gear. What you're going to do is you're going to be going along, and then you're going to clutch in, gas, or throttle, clutch in, throttle, and then clutch out in one swift motion, okay? So, clutch, throttle, clutch. And you can just practice that while you're playing Modern Warfare or watching SpongeBob or whatever. Just practice that, okay? And now, in first gear, it's a lot stronger of a, because it's geared lower, right? So you're going to get a lot quicker motion. So you don't want to do it like second gear. In second gear, you clutch, throttle, almost full throttle, and then clutch out again later. And doing that, you would probably 12 o'clock your bike. But with first gears, you just start slow. That is my other biggest tip for you. Like in all of my tip videos, I always say go slow. Don't try and impress anyone. Just do it for yourself, and you don't want to bust your shit all up, So that's kind of what you're going to want to do, is just go really slow. And I'd say for the first couple weeks, you're only going to want to bring the front end up a little bit. And I'm going to try and do that for you. I haven't done a shitty wheelie in a long time, like a couple inches off the ground. But I'm going to try and get it for you guys, just so you can see what it looks like and what it sounds like. That's another important thing. You want to pay attention to the sound of what the engine's doing. So, you're going to hear the engine rev a little bit and then drop back down. That's the clutch working. So, I'll go ahead and get started here. Also, make sure you have all your gear on. Make sure you have a road that doesn't have a lot of traffic on it. Don't do this shit in the city. Bust your shit all up. Okay? Now normally there's not any cars on this road, but there's a couple coming. So I'm going to wait for them to get a little closer, and then I'm going to go ahead and go and do my thing. Okay, when you're clutching, I use 2 fingers. Lots of people only use 1 finger. I like 2. Just figure out what works for you. When I first started, I used my whole hand. But I like 2 now. Okay? And, oh yes, cover the rear brake with this foot. You want to practice that. It took me a long time to get it down. I still don't even have it completely down, but that's what's going to save your ass. If you go too high, you're not going to get it at first. It's going to have to become muscle memory. All of this is going to become muscle memory eventually. But that rear brake. You're going to want to work on that quickly. Try and get that down as quick as possible. Like, always have your front and rear brake, and then instead of letting out of the throttle to bring the front end down, just press on the brake. Okay? All right, here we go. We're going to go around 17, 18, 19 miles an hour, okay? And then this may be a little too high for what you're going to want to do. I'm going to try and you want to try and pop it a couple inches off the ground, and then just use your throttle to chase it out. Chase it out as far as you can, all right? So I'm going to try and do a little one here. Now that was even a little too high. That was probably about 6 inches, I'd say. But see, I barely did any throttle, and I just used the clutch to get it up. And I didn't roll on like what downshift does. I just did straight up clutch, throttle, clutch. Okay, here we go again. Yeah, there we go. That's what you're going to want to do. Just a little baby hop for a while, okay? We'll let this guy go by. But yeah, just do those. I'm going to wait for this truck and this van to go by, and then we'll get started again. But that's basically what you're going to do. Just do those baby hops, and then once, I mean, it's only going to be a half a second for each wheelie. But eventually you'll start keeping them up a little longer, and it'll get better and better and better, okay? Now, for my wheeling, you can go look through my videos. I think in September of last year, I was pulling pretty decent first ones, but I think I started learning on my R6, but as I told you, I wasn't doing any. I was only pulling like a couple inches up the ground for a long time on my R6. But for this one, I started doing wheelies about a month after I got it. So probably early July, I'd say I started learning on this. And by late September, I was pulling pretty decent first gear wheelies. And I didn't start second gear wheelies. And I kept doing first gear wheelies, not practicing regularly, but just, you know, whenever I had the chance. Okay, let's do some more. There we go. That was perfect for what you're going to want to be doing the first couple weeks of what you're... I mean, everyone learns at a different pace, but I would say go slow. See, that's going to be after... I mean, if you go out all day, every day for like a week, I mean, you're going to advance a lot quicker. But as for someone like me, where you go out and you pull 10 or 15 wheelies a day, or for one day, and then you don't do it again until the next week, it's going to take a couple months, okay? But I would say just, you're going to know how fast you're progressing. Just don't push yourself, all right? Here we go. 19 miles an hour. See, I kept it up all the way almost until red line. I kept it about, I'd say that was about 5 inches, 6 inches off the ground. Okay, let's try that again. You just want to try and keep that exact height. That's a little too high. I popped up about a foot and then let it back down. And by the way, when you pop that first one, your stomach's gonna go crazy. Like it's not a natural feeling. It's pretty violent, and it's gonna scare the shit out of you. But just always make sure you land with your handlebars straight and cover your rear brake, and you should be good. Just go out there and practice. Make sure you have a street like this, or a parking lot would be awesome if you know someone that'll let you use the parking lot. And just go out there and practice. And this is my beginner. I'm going to make an intermediate too. But once you keep going, you'll be doing stuff like this. It's really windy. There's a strong west wind, so it's pushing me. But you're just going to keep getting higher and higher and higher. And eventually you'll be getting pretty close to balance point. But, in first gear, throttle control is everything. Okay, that's important because it's very touchy. So you want to do very, 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 see, watch this. Woo! See, it's very choppy in first gear. So you're going to want to do really, really, really minute input controls, okay? So here we go. I'm going to try and pull a good first gear wheelie for you. Man, that wind is driving me crazy. That wind's just, and this road is kind of like canted. Alright. Also, wheeling on hills is different. Like if you wheelie downhill, it's going to be more difficult. If you really uphill, it'll be easier. My biker just wanted to go to the right. That's weird. I think it's the road. But you get the idea, you know. Yeah, it's just shooting off to the right. But yeah, that's it. Just keep working on that, and remember, throttle, brake, keep your handlebars straight when you land. Take it slow. And you'll start pulling ones like that, okay? I would say it's going to take you a couple months before you get to that level, alright? But this is kind of a shout out video to AK-47s and Motornosity, because I know they're wanting to start learning wheelies pretty soon. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a second gear wheelie for you guys to give you a preview of what intermediate is going to look like. Alright? I'm going to have the second video come out, and you're going to be able to do some stuff like this. Some stuff like this. So yeah, guys, go out there and practice. Make your double T proud.